Hey guys, Frank Minetti, Advisors Mortgage Group Freehold. Greetings from the Jersey Shore. Glad you came out to listen to what we're talking about today. I want to speak specifically to those of you out there considering purchasing a property. There's a couple buzz terms that you may have heard, whether you started working with a realtor, talking to friends and family that have purchased homes. Those couple of buzz terms are pre-qualification and pre-approval. And they sound similar, but they are drastically different. So I want to encourage you guys that there's a right step to address your home financing needs. And it's one of your first steps, and that's pre-approval. You don't want to be working with what we call traditionally a pre-qualification. So what does a pre-qualification look like? Well, a pre-qualification looks like, hey, I call a lender, we have a phone conversation, maybe we exchange some emails, and based on our conversation, that lender issues a pre-qualification. Guys, that is not good enough. You're setting yourself up for a disaster, for a pitfall, for a last minute, hey, this isn't going to work situation. So forget about that. That's not what you want to do. I want to talk to you about what we do and I do here at Advisors Mortgage with regard to the mortgage pre-approval process. So it starts off with an introduction however we meet, whether it's from a financial services industry person, a real estate professional, an attorney, an accountant, whatever. This is the way I start my process. And really my process has been a working process, for lack of a better term, for the last 30 years. But we incorporate personal interaction along with technology. So what I do is I always want to set up an introductory phone call or a Zoom, whatever you guys want to do. If you want to meet face to face, I'm actually 100% cool with that. But whatever way you want to proceed, we'll start up with an introductory phone call, get to know each other a little bit, and I'm going to get to know about your personal financing needs. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you a link to my website where you can go on, hit our apply online button, and then you're going to enter your personal information. Why is that important? Who knows your personal information better than you do? I don't, you do. So you want to walk through that, your work history, where you live, etc. And now we're starting to build a picture. We're starting to build where you work, what your income is, what assets you have to work with, what your home purchasing desire is. And as we do that, and you fill out that online application, I'm gathering information. So that's not where we stop. That's only the beginning. So once you fill that out, when I send you that link to my website that gives you the ability to enter your personal information, I'm going to send you a checklist of items we need based on the introductory conversation we had. And that checklist of items for most borrowers is going to look like, hey, if you're a salaried individual, give me your last couple of years W-2 forms, couple of recent pay stubs, give me 2 months bank statements from the accounts that you're going to be using, that have the money that you're going to use to purchase your property with. And that's how we start. The difference between pre-qualification versus pre-approval, we already talked about it. What do? Hey, let's have a conversation. Hey, you say you make this, you say you've been on this job this long, this is what you have to work with, I'm going to issue you a letter. Never, never, never do that. We want to see everything, and there's a reason behind it. So we gather that information. Inside that platform is you're allowing me to check your credit. What's mortgage pre-approval all about? It's about income, assets, and credit. So we boil it down to the three most important topics. That's what they are. Again, income, assets, and credit. Now, click my link in the bio, and what are you going to do there? We're going to touch base. We're going to talk about your borrowing needs. But that's important that we do that one-on-one, get to know each other. So you've filled out that application, you sent me back your W-2s, your pay stubs, your bank statements. We review those. And then we have that same picture that an underwriter is going to use to fully approve your loan. So we've taken that next step. That's important. But guess what? I could take it a step further, and I suggest you take it a step further. We will take that information. Now we know what your buying power is. Now we have your wish list. Hey, I want to purchase a property, $600,000. I want to put 20% down. We know that you qualify for that. You might say, well, how do you know that? I don't have a property picked out. Well, I'm going to talk to you about what towns you're interested in. We're going to get a feel what property taxes look like in that town. From experience, we know what homeowners insurance looks like, right? So we have a picture. an overview. Not only do we have that, we have the information and the documentation we need to wrap that up. It's not just a conversation, it's in depth, right? And we'll take it a step further. We will send your file to underwriting to have the underwriter take a look at everything I gathered and issue a preliminary approval on your loan. What does that mean for you? Find the property that we talked about, plug it into the situation. So you got a fully approved loan ready for that property to be plugged into the loan. It's not that pre-approval, or pre-qualification rather, that pre-qualification that says, we had a conversation, that's not good. When I issue a letter, because here's what's gonna happen. You're gonna go visit your realtor. The first question your realtor's, maybe the second question. First question, they're gonna be like, what price range you're looking in? Where do you wanna buy? Second, third question is, have you talked to a lender? Yeah, I'm pre-approved. Really? You pre-approved? Yeah, they've reviewed everything. Here's what we have. And they're gonna ask me for a letter. And in that letter, we're gonna stipulate to, hey, we didn't just have a conversation. We've reviewed X, Y, Z. And my job is to tip the scales in your favor. In an environment where there's multiple offers on the property, we need to put you in the best light we possibly can. And that's how we do it. So, would you rather be out there with a fully approved loan, or would you rather be out there with a conversation and a letter where somebody says, I think I'm okay? I'm gonna give you guys a real world example how this almost came to a crushing blow for a client of mine. Not too long ago, I had clients of mine that were approved by another mortgage lender, pre-qualified up to X amount of dollars. When I got them on the phone, because the realtor didn't feel good about it, didn't sit right with them, wanted somebody they trust that had the experience level that I have to look at the situation. And we looked at the scenario. Guess what? We came to find out that everything that other lender told them didn't even hold water. Not only that, they were pre-approved, or that's what they used. They called it a pre-approval. They didn't look at anything. It was a pre-qualification, right? And they were told that they approved for X amount of dollars, and they were treated as if they were salaried individuals. Guess what I found out? Within minutes of the first conversation, that initial conversation I had with them, I found out they weren't salaried individuals, they were self-employed. Required a whole nother level of documentation that we found out about that up front, not at the end. What would happen? They would have went with XYZ. Somewhere along the lines, deep into the transaction, they would have had a problem. We headed it off at the pass, we dealt with them, and we took care of the situation. So, if you want a pre-approval, click the link in my bio. We want to get one-on-one, whatever way you want to do it. We want to have a conversation, and then we want to get rolling to the documentation we need to have you shopping with confidence. Confidence that your financing is ready to go when you find that perfect house. So again, guys, we look forward to helping you. This is Frank Minetti, Advisors Mortgage Freehold. Click the link in the bio and we'll get one-on-one and get you rolling to your new home purchase.